I actually moved. I'm originally from Dallas, Texas, and I made the decision to come to Roseman, so I had to move. Well, just through my research when I was applying, I did some pretty good research, and also I do know somebody in the Roseman class, so it was kind of nice to have that, and that's how I came across Roseman.
So I actually looked into Roseman long before it actually got built. So I was looking into it about 3 years ago and trying to figure out what they were doing. I heard they were opening a dental school. That's what I wanted to do. So finishing my prereqs, and then all of a sudden they opened, and I was like, sweet, I'm going to be able to stay in Utah. My wife's from Utah. She didn't want to move, so it was kind of a good atmosphere to focus on. So I applied and was able to get in, and everything was good. So.
Well, when I was applying to dental school about 3 years ago, I guess, I had applied a couple times before that, and I just went down the list, and I just noticed, at that time it was University of Southern Nevada, Utah campus, and I had never seen that before. So I did some research, Googled it, and found out it's a brand new school looking for their inaugural class, and I went ahead and applied, and here I am.
I heard it was just a new school. It was about the time I was looking to apply. I heard there was a new school in Utah. I was actually the first one in Utah, so that kind of got me interested. And my wife is from Utah, so she really wanted me to apply to it. That's kind of the big thing.
Well, I think for me, the most important factor was the school and the program. And I felt that the Roseman program really cultivated what I was looking for in a dental school, and it was very balanced. It had the educational aspect, the clinical aspect, it had a nurturing environment from the faculty, and I just felt very, very comfortable when I visited Roseman in my interview. I just really, really enjoyed it. The interview for me was the major selling factor. Just my first impression of everybody has been amazing, and being a student here, I can say that that impression has lasted, so I'm really happy I chose Roseman.
So what made me choose Roseman is just their teaching abilities. I love the way that they teach as in a block system. So you have 2 weeks that you're focusing on a test. After those 2 weeks, and you pass your assessment, you don't have to worry about it except for boards. So it kind of focused it all in, and it helped me focus my mind into one subject at a time, rather with a traditional semester you're focusing on 4 or 5 classes, figuring out which ones you can slough off on and other ones that you could put attention in. So that was the main thing that drew me to the curriculum and everything.
Well, it was the only place I got accepted, if that counts. It's a completely honest answer, but hey, it is what it is. I had another interview at another state, but once I got accepted here, I just turned it down. Yeah, so I really like the program here. So,
that's a really good question, because it originally wasn't one of my top choices. That's something my wife wanted me to do, but I applied, got interviews all over the country, and I actually got into basically all my top schools. But when I came to Rose, my first 5 minutes of being here during the orientation, I was sold on the school. I was sold on the fact that about the faculty and how nice they are. They really, even during my interview, tried to get to know my name and ask me about myself.
I think my favorite thing about Roseman is the lifelong colleague philosophy here. I think it creates a wonderful environment for the students and for the faculty. We never feel like we're students. Actually, we feel like we're student doctors from day one, and I don't think I can say that about many schools. And I love the fact that when we speak to the faculty, they basically treat you as student doctors from the very beginning. And I love the fact that I can do group projects with my fellow students, and there's no cutthroat environment. We're all friends, we're all there to help each other out, and it just creates a wonderful environment when you're studying in such a rigorous program. So I think that's one of my favorite things about Roseman.
My favorite thing about Roseman is just the people. I love the people here. They are super helpful. The instructors just want to help you. They care. They want to make sure you're taken care of. They want to make sure you know the information. They spend hours and hours preparing the information. They want to make sure it gets across to you, and that we're prepared to go out and be clinicians and be those people that excel in our profession.
The fact where they kept saying during the interview process that there's no competition here, everyone's on an equal playing field. As far as the relationship with the professors, they're all colleagues. It's not necessarily, student and professor. I mean, obviously you give them that respect because they are your professors, but it was just the no competition thing was very helpful, as far as when you're in class learning, and I really like that aspect about it.
My favorite thing about Roseman is just how tight-knit it is. I really like how, I feel like some of these people I'm with every day, all day, I'm not sick of them. They're actually some of my best friends. I got one sitting right next to me. We got to Buffalo Wild Wings during our lunches. We celebrate birthdays together. We have a good time together. We also study together. And that's another thing I really like is the focus on groups, working in groups. We have a good study group, and the good thing about being on a study group, being late at night here, getting ready for some of these assessments, is that we can all pitch in on some pizza, you know what I mean? So we all help each other out here at Roseman. I think that's the best part about it.
I think Roseman is quite diverse. I'm from Texas originally, and in Texas I see a lot of diversity, and I think Roseman has done a fantastic job picking people from all across the United States and from different backgrounds, different cultures, and it's really nice to meet people from, I know I have one person in my class that's from Canada, from Korea, and so we even have international students at Roseman, which is amazing because I get to meet people from all over the world, and we all get to work together, and we're all a part of the same program, and Roseman is doing a fantastic job, I feel, to bring together people from different backgrounds all in one program.
Well, the culture at Roseman is very friendly. There's definitely an open door policy here, and like just today I spent about 30 minutes just talking to one of our deans just because I wanted to say hi, and he had some free time, so we just had a little conversation, and then I left, and not a big deal. But people here are really nice. Like I mentioned earlier that there's no competition here, and so there's no need to compete with anybody. So everyone's real friendly. You're not hiding anything. Everyone's friends here, and I really like that about Roseman.
It's really interesting to see how there's so many people from all over, people who have different backgrounds, different degrees, different experiences in dentistry, for example. So some of the people in the lab I work with have had some experience. And what I really like about it, even though they finish their projects quicker because they've had experience with it, they're able to stay around and help me out so we can all learn together. Then once they show me, I try to go around and help other people as well. I think that's just kind of the culture here is we all try to help each other. It's not cutthroat like a lot of other schools. So I think that's definitely beneficial for our education and our learning.
I think Roseman is doing a fantastic job. We have a 90% rule, so they expect us to excel in our classes, but I think that's wonderful because in most dental schools I feel, you just have to do well and you're not expected to master the subject, but at Roseman we're expected to master, and I feel like I study hard on one subject but I remember it. It's not that I do okay on it and then I can forget about it the next day. And I took my boards the past summer and I felt that everything I learned in D1 was excellent. I couldn't say that I didn't learn anything or that Roseman didn't teach me anything, and I think that's fantastic. I think a lot of students, I'm an interview ambassador, and a lot of students ask that question, will Roseman, prepare us for the board exam? And I think absolutely they do. We had an excellent board exam passing rate, so I think their teaching methods are working beautifully. It's a good program. I'm really happy to be a part of it.
Like I said, I think I was really, really impressed by it. That's kind of really what sold me. My first 5 minutes of orientation just sold me on how They showed the block system and the teaching method and how teachers all have open door policies. Not only that, they all legitimately, when you ask a question, they want to know your name first, and they really try to remember your name. And you'll see them in the halls, and they'll either remember your name or ask you to remind them the name. So I really like that a lot. It's very personal. You just feel comfortable. If you ever have a question, you can go ask any professors and get the help you need.
So here at Roseman, our classrooms are set up. They're not the traditional lecture style. They're basically set up in a round fashion. So the professor is in the center and he has students all around him. And I really like it a lot. I think it's fantastic. It keeps you focused because most of the time professor likes to move around, and it keeps your attention going, and I think that's really important. We're in grad school, we should be paying attention, but then again, you know, there is times when you can get distracted, but I think the setup is amazing. It really keeps your attention, and it's different from the traditional lecture style, so it's something different and something unique about Roseman, and I haven't seen that in any other school, and I think it works really well. Everybody basically sits in the front in this case. Nobody is sitting in the back, so it's nice. And also the professors really get to see who's there, kind of engage with you more. They kind of have your attention as well, so it's like a two-way street. It's really nice. I like it a lot.
The classrooms are great. I actually sit like on the third row of one of mine that only has 4 rows, so it's kind of crazy that, you know, you're in a circle and you have to move back and forth, and the professor is just circling over and over so that we can, he's all talking to each of us. I like the learning style. You have the big screens up in the front where you're looking, you have it, you don't have to kind of shift your weight and see, maybe a glare or something, but it's just right in front of you. I like that as well. So it's definitely an innovative style of learning. You're never in the back of an auditorium where you can kind of snooze off. You're right there. It's in your face. You can actually do stuff and pay attention a lot better, I think.
I love it, actually. Just the fact that no matter where you are in class, you're within 4 rows of the professor. I don't know anywhere else that you get that. And as for us, we like to call it the octagon because we're kind of surrounding the professor in the middle. And so, we have the screens surrounding, so on each section, no matter where you're sitting, you can see the PowerPoint very easily. You can see the professor and his or her face very easily. And it's very easily to ask questions if you have any questions about anything, and make comments, suggestions, and you can hear the other students when they're asking questions, just because everyone more or less is facing each other. So it's a very nice setup. It's different, unique, but for me, it's been very helpful.
Classrooms are set up with 8 sides, it's like an octagonal, whatever you call that. So it's set up in a circle, so all the students are facing the center of the room, where the teacher is with the desk, and there's an overhead projector with 8 sides on it, so that each of the divisions in the classroom can see what's going on. At all times, the instructor walks around, and it makes it more efficient, makes it more space efficient. You don't have a bunch of people in front of you if you're sitting on the back row. It's nice as far as that's concerned. And just kind of makes it nice altogether.
What I really like about it is, since it's circular, and we all have screens, it's kind of divided up a lot of screens in a circle, there really is no back row. You can't really escape that, but on the other hand, for me, I was always kind of a student who always wanted to try to get in the front. I want to be close so I could see it, pay attention better. So really, no matter where I sit, I'm close, I can be engaged with the professor and in the learning at the same time.
So my education at Roseman is it's firsthand. They give you a lot of clinical experience. They give you a lot of different didactic stuff that you're learning interesting facts to where you can apply that to real life situations. I think one of the things that I love the most is how they just share their knowledge and if they've experienced it once before. So any experience that they give you is just better for you to kind of progress on your knowledge and share that with other people later on down the line.
Well, this dental school I think is amazing because since it does have a very high standard, has a 90% standard for passing, to be able to pass. So that's the difference between mastering a subject and just knowing enough to get by, just knowing enough so you can, get away with the material. So you really have to know it well. You have to really study hard. You have to go over the material, master it. So I feel like the things I have learned, I'll be very competent in the future, especially when I start my own practice.
What I like about the professors at Roseman are that they are very nurturing and very caring. They truly care about us as students. They stay here long hours after, school has ended, and we have one professor, Dr. Janice, every Tuesdays and Wednesdays he stays till 8, or basically as long as you need him. And I think it's amazing that we have faculty that would do that, because I know, I have my personal life and I can't wait till I get to go home, and the fact that they stay here truly says a lot about what their teaching philosophy is and how deeply they care about the students. So I think that's one of the top things about the professors here, that you can stop them in the hallways, they'll stop what they're doing and they'll look at your work, they'll critique you. And one other thing I love about them is that they're positive. And I really like that, because I feel like the positivity helps you do well and it really motivates you to improve. They're tough, but they're tough in a good way. And they challenge you, but they don't bring you down. They definitely motivate you to do well, because I think they believe in us, and they believe in our, in our commitment to being competent dentists.
The professors are really nice. They like helping you out. They have an open door policy, so it's always open to you. So if you have a question and you don't understand, you go to them and they'll sit down and explain it to you. I know I've sent emails later at night, and I get an email like at 2 a.m. saying, "Oh, this is the answer to this question." And I was just like, wow, like they're in tune. They know that you're a student and that you need help, and they're there to help you as much as they can.
I like that. What I like about the professors at Roseman is that they're very nice and very helpful, and they actually go out of their way to help you. They have an open door policy, so anytime you have a question about anything, if they're in the building, you have access to them. So they're up on the 5th floor of our dental school building, and we have our key cards basically that we can scan and go see them, and it's not locked to students; it's open to students. And so just the fact that they're available for us whenever we need them is very nice.
What I really like about the professors is that they really try to get to know you. They legitimately care. They try to get to know your name. They call you by name. And because of that, you feel a lot more, it's a lot less intimidating to go talk to them, go to their office, ask them questions, help you out with whatever kind of things you're struggling with.
So the group learning environment is great. We all split off. It's kind of like a smaller group. You got 10 people usually in a group, and so you don't feel embarrassed to kind of speak up. I learn best in groups. I feel that if I have the information and I learn it well enough and that I can teach it, I tend to not forget it a lot. So one of the things that I liked is being able to teach my peers, and then if I had a question, they would be able to teach me what they knew as well. So it kind of solidifies the information for both you and then the person that's also teaching you. So
I never used to be much of a group learner. I used to do things a lot on my own, so I was never really exposed to that. But coming here and having a lot of opportunity to work in groups, I really enjoy it, because when I'm in a group setting, a lot of times I find I'm going over questions, and if I don't know the answer, I don't have to spend forever looking for finding the answer. I can say to my friend, "Hey David, what's the answer to this question?" And he might know, or someone else in my group might know, and be able to explain it to me better than it'd be for me just to look forever and try to find it in the book.
I would tell a prospective student to look at an institution that truly cares about them, and turns them into competent dentists that are also caring and good clinicians. And I feel that Roseman brings all of those factors together. Over here, we have an excellent clinical program, we have an excellent educational program, and we have a faculty to help us bridge those two together. And I think that was one of my major factors that I was looking in a school, and I would tell you to definitely consider Roseman because I think it's an excellent institution, and I think that it can turn you into excellent, competent clinicians. So I wouldn't go anywhere else.
To a prospective student looking to come to Roseman University, I would say take the challenge, step out of your comfort zone, and embrace the experience. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity you get to have. And in the end, I think ultimately you grow as a person, you develop, and you truly find out your limits and what you can take, and you'd be surprised how much you can accomplish.
So what would I say to a prospective student? I mean, it's definitely, your choice to come. So you need to make sure you research it, make sure you do enough research on the university. For here, Roseman was the best choice for me. I came into it like, oh wow, it's a little high price, but let's check it out. And I started checking it out and seeing all the innovative things, all the high tech things that they're bringing in, all the instruments and their clinic floor and everything there. Just, I mean, that won it over for me. I was grateful. I was like, yeah, I think this is the school I want to go to, and so I kept on looking more information to it, and when I came for the interview, it was night and day, and they were just like, this is what you're going to get. This is our fundamental policies, and it's your choice to come here. We want you here, and that won it over for me as a person that wanted you there. So that was the main thing that I would do. And that I encourage everybody to do.
What I would say to a prospective student is to definitely do your research when you're looking for a school. As far as Roseman itself, it's a great school. And you'll learn a lot here. It'll definitely prepare you for your future. Being a D3, I am seeing patients now, and I do feel fully prepared of doing procedures, and I have done procedures and done procedures successfully. So yes, Roseman's a great school, and if you came here, I don't think you'd be upset with yourself. You'd be very happy.
Prospective student looking at Roseman, whether it be College of Pharmacy or College of Dental Medicine or Nursing, I think the biggest thing is you have to look at what other schools are providing and how much time they're providing. Here at Roseman, it's a smaller community, but we're also very close-knit. We study together, we eat together, we stay in the same room together, we learn together, and the big thing for that is that the 3-year program for us, as far as College of Pharmacy, always wins out. You can get done in 3 years and move on with what you want to do as far as your career choice.
Nice. Okay. That was awesome.
I got
That's all those left.
I would tell them absolutely come check out Roseman. Definitely give it a chance with the application process, because I feel that anyone who comes for the interview will be sold on the school, just like I was in my first 5 minutes. The orientation, they'll be sold. The teaching model is wonderful. The professors are excellent, and all these things really conducive to an excellent education, help prepare you for your future vocation.